Hello and welcome to another edition of Serial Trash Talking. As always, your hosts, David and Rob. And today we've got a very great episode. We're going to be reviewing the amazing Reese's Puff cereal, one of my all-time favorites. And we're going to be welcoming on two very special guests who are the inaugural winners of the CTT UK Stupid Bowl. So before we jump into that, Rob, the Australian Open is just finished. How did it go?
Mate, DA, it was an absolutely outstanding performance from Novak Djokovic and Naomi Osaka. So not only has Novak just won his 18th slam, he's won his 9th Australian Open. So there's without a doubt he is the king of the Australian courts. The clinic that he put on, the effortlessness in which he plays the game, even struggling with abdominal pain, back pain, he just does not know how to lose. So it is an absolute joy to watch greatness unfold. Yeah. Then we have Naomi Osaka, the golden girl of women's tennis right now. She defeated Serena Williams in the semis, not an easy task to do, and then walked through into the final and just put on an absolute clinic against Jennifer Brady, who the moment was just too bright for her. So plenty more to come from Naomi, and it's just a joy to watch her play as well. So, you know what? The women's tennis game has definitely got a bright future ahead. So can't wait for more.
Yeah, agreed 100%. So without further ado, let's welcome in our two guests and let's get on to reviewing some cereal and talking about the NFL season.
All right, team, now's the time. Let's welcome on our two special guests. We have Jamo originating all the way from Canada, and we have Koza originating all the way from North Queensland. Thank you guys for joining us as our very first guests on this show and for being the inaugural winners of the CTT UK Stupid Bowl for the season. We don't know how you done it, but we are extremely excited to find out. Now, welcome in, lads. Great to have you on board.
Boys.
Thanks a lot for having us.
Boys. Yeah.
Absolute pleasure.
Well, without further ado, let's get cracking into the good old Reese's Puffs.
These bad boys, yeah.
So, Rob, do you want to just take us through the five?
That's 5 key criteria there,
that's
DA.
It.
Oh, man, I love this portion every single episode, DA. First test is always about the smell test, boys. Make sure you crack open that pack and you get a good whiff. Second is about that dry test. Once you pour into your bowl, make sure you get a good covering and you try those pieces singular, no milk. Third, we're thinking about flavor integration, always about the milk saturation. 4, structural integrity, how it holds on since it's been in the milk, and Moorishness. You know, boys, I've already explained Moorishness, but you got to love it. Get that smell first, boys. Now, Koza, we know this is your first time. What are you expecting?
I thought it would smell a bit more. I don't know, more like Snickers or something like that, you know? But
it's not Snickers Puffs. It's not Snickers Puffs.
Jesus, Jamie. Gone.
This takes me back, though.
Jamie, you grew up on this, you said, no?
Yeah. When the parents were generous. Oh, this stuff was like gold back in Canada. The cheapest. So when I was
this is a good one. This is a good dry.
When I was
it doesn't even need milk.
A bowl size. Yeah, actually.
Liquid gold.
Can't agree.
Exactly like you say, Jamo. Liquid gold.
Yeah.
God,
Solid.
Oh, get that dry test on, boys. You know, this is a special moment. Then when you're ready, do you need a refill? My man.
Wait, literally ain't.
It's a special day this year. It's a special day.
Oh, that's good.
We knew it. Now make sure we get some. You know, this is the flavor integration. Get some good milk saturation because once those puffs hit that milk, oh boys, the profile changes again. You'll be on for it. So enjoy. Now, DA. Now I know that these guys are the inaugural winners, but just for the fans out there, we were involved in this competition as well. And as per the leaderboard, we can see that you are holding up the ladder. So we thank your donation into the competition. But what we really need to know is how did they do it? How did they stay consistent throughout the season? And what was their way of making their picks and their judgments? boys. I'll start with you, James.
Thank you. Thank you again. I just want to say thanks for having us on the show. I think it's great what you guys are doing, and it's an honor to be your first guests. In terms of the Stupid Bowl, I talked with the team before the season, talked with the boys. We had a heart-to-heart, and the strategy going in was always just make sure Kaza is not the outright winner, because we know we'd never hear the end of it. So that was the focus, making sure Kaza doesn't come out on top alone, and we achieved our goal. So, no, but seriously, I played it. I think I played it. I played it pretty conservative. I think. I tended towards the statistical favorites each week. You kind of realize going through each week that there's maybe like 3, 4, 5 upsets total each week. So if you're going with favorites, you're still going to get 10, 11 wins each week, and that's kind of the strategy I maintained throughout. I was lucky. I think maybe I don't want to say luck, but I think for the first season there was the first few weeks of the season. Yeah, it is a bit luck of the draw, especially it was the first COVID season. Like, you don't know what's really going on with a lot of things. Yeah. And I jumped out in front early on with that strategy. I think there was a lot of other players taking risks that weren't paying off.
Yeah, you put us under pressure, mate. Yeah, you put us under pressure with your early leads and your big first round score. So we had to chase those, eh? So
yeah. Oh. And once you're in that driver's seat, it's hard to take risks after that. You want to maintain that lead each week, and then as the weeks go on, you realize that you're. No offense to you guys, Merch and Dave, but you realize you're only playing against a few people. You're only playing against 3 or 4 people. Especially by mid-season, you realize
we're going to wrap the call up here, boys.
Yeah, but for me, it was about playing relatively conservative, and as you can tell with my last pick, I maintained that strategy through to the Super Bowl. Did pay off for me there, but serves me right for going against the avocado tequila man himself.
Yeah, you're a disgrace. Oh, what? What?
But yeah, played it pretty safe. Capitalized on other people's risks, and just stuck it out at the end there. Happy to share the pot with Kaza. I was actually quite curious about the stats each week, and I check it out. I put it like a little spreadsheet together because I was curious to see who led after each week. And I think out of the 20 or so weeks, I was in the lead or tied for the lead all weeks except for 4, which I don't know if that's how these pools work, but like which I kind of was like, then maybe you should have won it outright, Jamo. But good on Kaza for peaking at the right time.
Yeah,
he followed the perfect script. Jamo jump out to an early lead, consolidate. Probably tried to defend this lead too much. So what did the dark horse? How did the dark horse pull it back?
All right, so thanks obviously guys for having us as well. Just get back into that. So pretty much 10 years experience fantasy football. The boys back home in Australia, classic thing, like a college thing that we did, just comes natural to me. I was just keeping it in and out. Jamo had the lead. I was like, we better not let him get the win, outright. So he is always defending his title the whole time. Yeah. And then when I took over, I think I took over once or twice. I was by myself in the
You were there, maybe 2 weeks. You had the lead.
There's a lot of pressure. Yeah. There's a lot of pressure there to be like, should I be playing safe or should I not be? Because I could see that Jamo had that the whole time. So there's obviously a few of us there, like Tom, and then like Jess was there.
Shoops was doing
it. He was there, and I was like, Rob, she
never stopped mentioning it to me. She never stopped mentioning it.
Oh, geez. That's too funny. But in saying that, just like, my strategy was, like, I had to beat Jamo, like, obviously. I wanted to win, so which came with risks. Obviously, that's why we, like, dipped in and out of, like, first, second, third, like, all the time between the 3 of us, generally, like Tom and, Jamo and I. But then, it felt like the same. Like at the start of the season, once we were like 4 or 5 games in, there's a few people that didn't put their picks in. They just forgot, and that pretty much casted them away.
I guess my question to you is, did you actually believe that Brady and the Bucks were going to win, or did you just choose the Bucks because you wanted a shot at the money?
So no, I actually thought Brady was going to win, 100%.
Yeah.
But
I think either way, I think it would have been a good strategy either way.
I would have had to do it anyway, but but I didn't know what you guys, because it ended up being, so this is how it happened. Like, ended up being Jamo and I and Tom. So Jamo was 1 point in front of us, like 1 pick in front, and then Tom and I were second, and we were just 1 point below. And then so it came down to the Super Bowl. So Tom and Jamo picked Kansas City Chiefs. Fair enough, obviously, like favorites going into it, but I picked Tampa Bay for most of the season, to be honest, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Brady, I trust, you know what I mean? This is what it is. Like, experience comes in. He didn't lose a game after their bye week, so
the signs were there.
Yeah,
the signs were there that that Kansas could falter for sure.
But
and it kind of measured. It probably kind of mirrored your run, cause it built into the season, and you kind of what would you say? Say you built into the season and peaked at the right time, much like what the Bucks done. They get through that bye week, and then they just built and built and built, and clearly played their best game when it really mattered. This is what TB does, doesn't he? So
yeah. But to answer your question, I picked them because I thought they would win, and I wanted them to win.
Cool.
I wanted them to just stamp it and clear it. But
no, I definitely think the targets are on both your backs for next season. But no, well done. I mean, no pressure.
Thanks for your money.
I think,
so it's all good.
Yeah. I'll try and get it back.
Anytime, guys. Anytime.
Appreciate being
so,
here.
lads, what are your what's your number one all-time favorite cereal, Gemma?
I have to say Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the one you guys reviewed last week. It's an all-time. It's an all-time classic. I think Dave, you said a comment about if you like cinnamon buns or sticky buns, we call them.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna love Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and that's exactly what we compare them to. And it's a bowl of heaven every time you have one of those. I actually haven't had a bowl of that in a really long time, but it was definitely a number one favorite growing up. Reese's Puffs has always been up there as well. But yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my top for sure.
Yeah. And because growing up in Australia, I assume it's Wheat Bix.
I mean, when you pose a question, you got to go back with it. Yeah. Unlike Jamo, it's like, I don't know, I'm not used to the sticky buns, I guess. Like he has all the cinnamon toast. But I would have to go probably Wheat Bix, to be honest. As
all right.
Stereotypical as that is, but like, you have like Cocoa Pops and all those other Fruit Loops and stuff like that. But no, it's good to try a bit of this on the American. Like,
it's nice to be exposed to the American ones. I like us.
Yeah, for sure.
And idea you've been exposed to them, but we do get exposed to rather supermarket vanilla options.
Yeah,
in the Wheat Bix and Cocoa Pop options.
Yeah, I mean, you take the piss out of me because I like one of my favorite all-time cereals is Nutri-Grain. Like I think Nutri-Grain is a quality cereal.
I agree. I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm on board with you there, Dave. One of my favorite all time too, like probably top two, is it's called Life, and it's just like a sort of a bland, weedy cereal. Yeah.
Life is brilliant.
I love Life. Yeah. Life.
Yeah. that's one we need to get on, Rob.
Rob, what's your top favorite? What's your favorite one?
Since we've been going down this like American cereal range, and like a lot of them are first time tryers. And maybe a nostalgic feeling they're sort of built, but it is like Reese's Puffs. When DA sent the cereal through to me, he sent, you got a mega box. He's like, bro, can you just, want to try some of these? And I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'll get stuck into those. And I love that it kind of mixes two things, like, that are my favorites. I love my peanut butter. Reese's have worked out well and just work really well for me in the cereal. So, I'd probably put it up there as my favorite, especially with like, as you say, Jamie, the sugar bombs. But Otherwise, those wheat bix and oats for the old bland options at home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, you're just saying that because we're eating this now. Really cool.
Guys, for the health conscious fan out there, oats in the morning, fantastic. Don't forget that.
Yeah. There you go.
But when you want to drop the sugar bombs, then Reese's Puffs is what I do and what I love. So I better make sure my rating measures up to my standards.
I was literally gonna say that. I was like, what are you talking about? This is the best one. It's gonna be 10. It's gonna be 10 then. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, have a think about that while we go through this, That'd be interesting. Looking forward to it.
Don't get caught out at the end, bro. Don't get caught out with rubbish rating. Oh, that's a 6.5, guys. Oh,
What is it gonna take to get?
Yeah. No idea.
I know. I'm sweating bullets.
Yeah. Well, I'm already onto my second bowl. I'm not gonna lie, it was too good to stop at one. So it's through the roof on the Moorishness test. So I mean, Jim, I actually I'm sorry, I don't know who you support. I mean, I'm just going to assume that you're a Patriots fan as well, because who isn't?
Fair assumption. So actually, despite my wire-to-wire clinic at the inaugural Stupid Bowl rather, I spend a lot more of my attention on Canadian football, which is a far more superior version of gridiron football. If you're interested in it's debatable. It's fun though. But obviously I don't totally ignore NFL. When I do support a team, I support the Packers.
Okay.
And that's a lot to do with the proximal proximity to where I grew up. Obviously, Minnesota is a bit closer, but a lot of my friends were Minnesota fans growing up. So always want to be something different. So I decided to go with the Packers, who are kind of the next closest. And I'm also a big fan of their unique ownership model as well.
Yeah, that's
very true.
And they win, Jamo. And they
it doesn't hurt that they have an MVP. If they've had an MVP quarterback for the last 10-15 years, that's certainly not a deterrent. They're a solid team. They're not a hard team to support. I mean, they do break your heart when it comes to crunch time. But yeah, that's been my team for since I can remember. Basically, when I do find the time to focus on American football as opposed to Canadian football.
Yeah.
Oh my days. That's too funny. Well, obviously, Packers is not my team. Patriots are. And we don't have the heartbreak kid like your Rodgers. So we have TB12. Tom Brady had Tom Brady.
Now, we haven't heard of him before.
Oh,
Who dat?
So exactly. But my coming into supporting NFL and getting to the sport came from Madden 06, I think, and that was after the Patriots versus Eagles Super Bowl in 2005. So, and I never followed the sport or anything like that. It was I just played the game, and then I was just pick the first team, and then it just happened to be New England. So that's pretty much how it went. That I stayed from them. And then
Corey, that
could have been an Eagles fan.
Remind me, Corey. That's when the bandwagon was first filling up. Is that right?
Sorry.
That's when the Patriots bandwagon was first filling up, and you jumped on there. Is that right?
Did they have 3 rings then? I don't know. Cool. How's Rodgers still going there? I don't know. But yeah.
So, Cos, when you jumped on the Patriots bandwagon, they didn't win for another 7-8 years. So, would you be fair to say that you basically, let them down? Probably, really.
Yeah, it could have been. No, but that's the thing. When I stick to the team, though. So I stick to it. Just like basketball, same thing happened. Miami Heat, I'm Miami Heat fan. Dwayne Wade's my guy. Obviously retired, but I still stick to them. LeBron came close, but that's a whole nother story. Obviously different sport. We didn't need to get into that. But yeah, but that's why I've stuck with Patriots. It's just happened to be like that. So, and I don't want to change, which I'm not going to change as much as I like Tom Brady with a temper. Yeah.
Rob, I think you've got a bit of cheek there calling Corey out for the long spell of no titles for the Patriots. I mean, how many years has it been now? 26 years for the Cowboys?
Oh, boys, I'm waiting.
America's
I'm waiting.
team.
Hey,
Yeah, America.
not even
America's team.
America.
Don't you boys forget that. Don't you boys forget it.
Jeez.
But Koza, I've got in the
That's the
mail.
only
I've got
title
in the
they've
mail
got,
for
Rob.
you. Oh, yeah. We like to focus on our off-field performance. Don't worry about that.
Oh
Ooh.
my days.
Have you guys seen the
Jeez.
Forbes list? Oh my days, that is the list you look at. Just imagine if we actually won Super Bowls. Whew, it wouldn't even be a competition. But Koza, in the mail,
Imagine.
in the mail, I've because I've already sent DA's one, but I have sent you a first-class ticket into mediocrity. So welcome, my friend, welcome, because it's going to be a long ride back. It's going to be a long ride back.
Oh yeah.
So get used to it.
I guarantee the Patriots will win a Super Bowl before the Cowboys. The Patriots will be the next team to win a Super Bowl out of the AFC East. That's how confident I am that they're only a few pieces away.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. I still think they're.
Is that mainly is that because of who the Patriots are, or who they have in their division?
It's who they are.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's in their blood.
Jeez. Pretty sad about Dak though, not gonna lie. That's a bit unfortunate. Had a good run last season. You're going there, but oh well. Unlucky.
Dak, yeah.
Unlucky.
Well.
But then we got Cam Newton. Jeez. Just as bad.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
That was terrible.
I'm intrigued to see who they'll bring in at quarterback. I mean,
yes.
I hope that they do not bring back Cam Newton. I mean, I don't dislike Cam Newton. I just don't think he was effective there.
Yeah.
I wanted him. I was actually like rooting for him to do well. This season.
Yeah, true.
I like the guy as a player. He's exciting when he's playing well. But I think Dave, you mentioned in one of the past episodes that he just not fitting in with that unit, and I think that might be a fair call.
Different play style, scheme, not comfortable. COVID, all the rest of it.
No. I have a question for the Pats fans here. I saw an interesting sort of commentary show up around the Super Bowl, and it was around when Tom Brady was going through his bender, having a good time celebrating his win, and then there were some people sort of calling out the Patriots culture of professionality and culture of sort of stifling fun, and how that you need that to win. Do you think is there any teeth in that sort of argument? Is that a thing, or are there people just sort of hating the Patriots as they do? Is that a culture in the Patriots, and does that help them win even if it is a culture?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, would we have seen that sort of behavior when he was at the Patriots? Probably not. Will we see that sort of behavior at the Patriots going forward? Probably not. I think it's just as much with Brady as it is Belichick in those situations. And I think, like, to be honest, Brady, I don't have anything bad to say about Brady, but I think he's living it up a bit as well. Like, I mean, why wouldn't you be? You're 43 years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clearly throwing the trophy across the boat, Rob. But with the quarterback situation, though, with Pats, I think, like you said in the previous episode, DA, with like Jimmy G coming back, that would be. I thought that was just the whole process before, like, he left. Obviously, that he was just going to replace Brady because like had the whole system and everything was just going to go like sort of smooth sailing. Like it was just going to be like, here you go, and then like take off like that. And obviously, I hope he comes back. I don't know. It's like one of those things. I don't know. Cam is like
really cool.
Yeah, had a great season, like 2015 or when it was. So.
Yeah, I don't know how I genuinely feel about Jimmy G. Like I was somewhat excited earlier in the week, saying that I think it would be good, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know who they could bring in that would be great for them. I think Jimmy G's the best available option, but long term, I mean I guess you've just got to trust Bill. I mean, he was the succession plan, so Bill hasn't failed us yet.
You got to draft a seventh rounder and hope he turns out.
Yeah, How many of those have they
Pretty
had?
much, eh?
They had
Jeez.
there was Jared Stidham. That's a bit unfair. Jacoby Bissett. Brian Hoyer.
Mallet.
Yeah.
Brian Mallet. That's it.
Yeah,
Man.
Brian Mallet. He backed up Tom Brady for about 10 years. Jeez, what a gig.
And then he
Living the
then he
dream.
wins the
Living the dream.
Texans. Right.
You thought he was going to take some skills away from it, though, eh?
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I'm just going to retire now. I'm all good.
Jamo, Corey. So we want to get some hot takes from you guys now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is winning the NFL next season? And actually, who can win the NFL off season?
Ooh, spicy.
Oh,
Jamo, you first. Yeah.
I'll start. I mean, I don't see too much changing at the top end of the league.
Mhm.
I think the Bills will be a team to watch. I think the Bills are gonna keep it up, and I think they're gonna go deep again. And I think if Allen can, if he can string together another season like he did, maybe improve a bit on that, I think the Bills will be a scary team. The Chiefs are going to come back hungry, and as long as TB12 is around, you can't count out the Bucs. So I honestly don't see too much changing at the top end of the league. One dark horse prediction that I wanted to make sure was expressed here for merch was, I do believe that the Washington football team, not only will they come up with a new team name that will greatly divide their fan base, but I do think that they're gonna come out on top of the NFC East again.
What a disgrace!
I think that's
Who's the
going
quarterback?
to be.
Is it Dak?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But I don't know. I think that'll be an interesting sort of side story for the league again. Is that division, and I do think Washington's gonna struggle to the top.
It's terrible how much news that division does get. So it is awful, but yeah.
Okay. But
The league
Jamo,
butters its bread. Yeah.
Jamo, who's winning it? Who's winning it?
Who's winning it?
I just want to know. Straight up team right now. Boom. Let's go.
Right now, the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to come back.
Chiefs.
Oh,
fair.
Jamo.
Yeah. With I agree with Jamo on like pretty much most of his accounts. Pretty much. So the top 4-5 teams probably won't change. I agree with that. I think Chiefs will be there for sure. I think they might be in this early Super Bowl. It could be. Oh, who knows? Like Green Bay, and then you got Tom Brady if he's healthy. I think they're just going to get better. I'm not going to lie. I think they'll go back to back. I'll put it out back to back. Tampa Bay win Super Bowl.
Man, that would be something. Yeah. But yeah, not surprised. No, it wouldn't be a surprise at all.
Yeah, they just connected now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Super Bowl was when it was like, yeah, this is it.
Especially if they bring back the same roster, right? If they re-sign their players, Golden, whatever. How? If they even get Shaq Barrett and JJ Watt, stop it. Just stop.
And somehow they get like I feel like it's crazy that like Todd Bowles is not a head coach anywhere else. Like I think like maintaining the coaching staff that they have now, like that's not going to hurt their chances at all.
Sorry, guys, that's a side note as well. I know this is a side note, but Todd Bowles used to coach the New York Jets. And how good is a couple of seasons make when you can go away and like live the Todd Bowles story to have a great season, and now he's back in that conversation again. I think that part's great. When they were rubbishing him for his Jets performance, goes to the Bucs, and now he's the defensive genius. It's like I think it gives everybody a bit of hope, especially in coaching, to say, your life isn't there if you go to the Jets. You can rebuild it. So I think that's a great story.
I mean, it's a bit like Josh McDaniels, wasn't it, when he went to Denver?
Any coach that leaves the Patriots, mate.
Well, I mean,
Bill O'Brien will be back soon. Jeez.
We brought back Matt Patricia from the Lions, so I mean, our defense is going to be incredible. So sorry, Cousin.
That's all right. No, yeah.
Who's winning? You saying the Chiefs then?
I think no, Tampa Bay back-to-back.
Okay.
Super Bowl,
Right.
but the underdogs, I think it's the Bills. To be honest, I have a good feeling with the
And
Bills. Like that's when
I would-
Jameis said
I would
that,
even-
I was like, yeah.
I would struggle to even call them underdogs. I think they're gonna be strong wire to wire.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I really
I
liked
think
watching Josh Allen
I
play. I
watched
really
them.
like
Yeah,
it.
same. That's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
That's what,
I want to see him do well. Yeah.
I did draft him in my fantasy team, but you know, this is what it is.
So
who's gonna win next year?
Yeah, you guys tell us who's gonna win the off season.
Yeah.
Rob, you go first.
Largely it is a huge win with Deshaun, wherever Deshaun goes, but also to win the off season, and like leading into your back-to-back predictions with the Buccaneers. Right now, they've only got actually 30 players assigned to their 52-man roster. So there to win, to watch that space and to see them win their off season will be a joy. To see how many of those players actually come back. Whether they, resign Godwin, Shaq Barrett, who are, going to be after big money, and Donovan Kinsu, if Brady takes less. So I think there's a huge story there about how they could win the offseason as well. And besides parking the Watson story, is where JJ goes. So if he ends up at the Bucks, does that mean he automatically wins, or the Bucks automatically win the offseason as well if they pick him up? So I know who's not won the offseason, and that's got to be the Colts. But hey,
yeah, 100%.
So I think the Bucks have the most going on. If they re-sign their players, get JJ. Not even with JJ, but if they can bring back most of that team, then they've won the offseason for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't like as long as Brady and friends are there, that's going to be a huge draw for a lot of free agents to stick around. Come back.
Who doesn't want to be on those boats come into the season? I want to be on those boats on the avocado tequila.
Yeah, exactly.
But how many of you guys Googled avocado tequila and tried to figure out how to get some of that? Because if you come out looking like Brady, it's like he's going all right.
So I think I agree with Rob. The Colts have definitely lost the offseason. But I mean, actually, they've kind of won it too. I mean, what, a second rounder, a third round pick this year, and a conditional second round for next year. I mean, that's not bad for someone who was crap. I mean, they just sat with his massive contract, aren't they? That's the only thing. Who do I think? I think Andrew Luck's going to come out of retirement and sign with the Pats. So I think the Pats will win the offseason.
Stop it!
Hot take.
No, I think the team that can win the offseason will be whoever gets JJ Watt.
Yeah.
I think if JJ Watt signs with the Browns,
that's a win.
I think that's massive for them. But I reckon I think the Bucks will win it again next season. It'll be Brady and Bill in the final, and Brady, I think, will get one up on Bill Belichick. So, no, I don't know. Yeah.
We would all love that so much. Imagine the Pats final just for that.
I think they're going to be Super Bowl Pats.
No.
The Pats will be lucky to get a wild card. I think.
I was like, oh, true.
They'll have a better record than the Cowboys. They'll have a better record than the Cowboys.
When is Dak back? When is Dak back?
Great question, Koza. Great question.
Yeah.
I want to get Jerry on the phone right now. Oh,
Jerry.
Days. Oh, my days. He is Jerry's a legend.
How will you feel seeing Dak wearing a color similar to Jamo's top next season?
Oh my gosh! You know what? It's like, I'll be gutted because I like Dak and I like the leader he is. But if he keeps thinking he's worse than what he is, then he can go. I'm sick of it. We're going to draft a new quarterback who will take us to the top. So we'll go from there.
Don't start out too bad. That Players Football League. I mean, hey, why not?
Oh, jeez. I just want to see him do well. Hopefully we have him back, but we'll go from there. 100%. Who the hell knows?
So lads, Reese's Puff cereal.
Yes.
What do you think?
Wow, boys. The smell test as soon as you open the packet, what a delight. The dry test already been well talked about. Don't need milk. You just eat them as they are. Snacks, watching a movie out of your roommate's box, whatever you want. The flavor integration, the actual hard, peanut butter balls hold together really well, and they integrate with your milk saturation levels, to an extreme level. Not over the top, but nice enough as you work through your bowl. That peanut butter flavor dusting goes into your milk sach, and then you get that flavor transition as well, which is always key. Big take for me though is always the Moorishness. Every time with this bowl, I always feel like I've got a spoonful in my mouth and a spoonful on my spoon ready to go. And that's what really takes it over the edge. So I'm going to start off the 10 count being...
do you have two spoons?
I've got one in my mouth.
One spoon wasn't enough.
One loaded. Man, you guys are average cereal eaters. You got to go too, baby. This isn't my first rodeo. But I do agree with you that, with the hardness of the actual puffs themselves, and probably due to actually how much of them we eat in one sitting, it can tear your the roof of your mouth apart. But the highest score I'm giving is a 9.5 for these.
Ooh, 9.5.
This is the highest, and like what I love in a cereal.
Sweet Christmas.
I'm not like taking it away from a 10. Maybe that comes in a re-gig, but a 9.5 for me this is my favorite cereal out of what we've reviewed and what I've had so far. So that's where I'm at, lads. I love
good.
it.
I mean, it's hard not to assign high marks for each category. I think I don't get hit. Like I said, it hits the smell test, hits the dry test. The smell test is an easy win. Moorishness is probably the sort of the best quality of the cereal. I think where it loses slight marks for me is the structural integrity. It does get soggy pretty fast and mushy.
Yeah,
but to its credit, not a lot of cereals are that good when they're soggy. Like when you imagine eating soggy cereal, it's usually not a very pleasant experience. Soggy Reese's Puffs. Soggy Reese's Puffs. Soggy Reese's Puffs are great still. So yeah, for me, I'm gonna go with a 9 out of 10.
Woo!
Cool.
Wow. Sizzle.
Jeez. I guess I'll go next. So first time trying it, smell test. I don't know, pretty average. It wasn't what I expected. I thought, I was looking at it. See, you got the thing. I got it there. So you looking at that chocolate, you're like, oh yeah. Nah, I don't know. Smell a lot of cardboard, because it's. But,
you got to put your nose in the packet.
Hey, I tried. It is what it is. But the Moorishness for sure. I had 2 bowls, but because we had a long, conversation. It is. I did do the bowl thing. I didn't see any of you guys do that. So
that's a key sign. That's a key sign.
Hey, check the tapes. Check the tapes. I did that
too. Dry test, yeah, they're good. They're good by themselves for sure. But I probably get sick of it. You can't really smash a lot of it. But unlike Rob, who always would smash this box for sure, as usual. But overall, I give it an 8. I'm gonna go lower. I think, I don't know. I think there's better things out there. I don't know. It is what it is.
Well, fair enough. If you're not a peanut butter fan, then Reese, you're going to struggle with Reese's. Yeah,
chocolate and peanut butter is divisive. It's like cilantro, coriander. Yeah.
However, it's not a 10 out of 10 like Rob should have probably said it was. But it is what it is. You do you, boo boo.
The roof of my mouth is still trying to recover. I was like, that's a good one.
But that's why you like it. That's why you like it.
And anyway, on that note, I never thought the words coriander would be entered in the show. So well done on points on that, Jamo. So well done.
I'm here to help, guys. I'm here to help. Yeah.
I'm more of a cilantro fan.
She got a dictionary in front of him.
So I love the cereal. I mean, you know how I feel about it. I'm actually going to go a 9.8. And the only reason it doesn't get a 10 is because of the after feeling in the mouth. But I mean, yeah, delicious. Just as good with milk. And like the next thing I want to do is I actually want to just take the milk and put it into some cookies or something like that, because that chocolatey peanut buttery goodness is delicious. So yeah, 9-8 for me.
Perfect.
But yeah,
man.
No way,
guys. Yeah. Well, I mean, Corey,
my opinion.
I'm not surprised, to be honest. I mean, your favorite cereal is Wheat Bix. So,
there it is. Hey, Cocoa Pops, close second. Jesus.
But no, guys, just as we wrap up this section, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
It's been really actually a lot of fun, and we'll
amazing, guys. Thank you for joining us today. You've been absolute stars, and you've been the best guests that we've ever had on the show. Now, to our fans out there, if you like this episode, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, because next week we are going to be talking about more of the hottest topics in sport and reviewing the pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts. We had our first Pop-Tart last week. Now we're on to our second, and you know what? They're a bit of a treat. So here we go, guys. Tune in. We'll catch you guys later.